Financial. Thank you so much for watching our podcast, Real Estate Insider, Where America Goes for Funding. Call or text Angelo Christian, 832-431-6331. We do our Angelo Christian live every week. So appreciate all you guys tuning in. I hope you guys can hear me okay. We should have good audio. Appreciate all you guys tuning in, watching the channel with Angelo Christian. We talk about it. We're a nationwide, those of you that don't know who we are, we're a nationwide commercial, residential, and private lender. We've been actively doing it for over 2 decades. We've helped hundreds of thousands of people, and our mission here is to, work really hard, help people to get the funding. Whether it's a first-time buyer, a veteran, a large investor that has a portfolio of properties, or a multifamily, or a builder, a developer. We have funding for almost every situation out there. So we've been doing it for over 2 decades. And we work incredibly hard. We've been doing our social media since 2017. And so we appreciate all of your help and your support with our channel. So please give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, like that bell, enable notifications. Hey, Robert, what's up, buddy? I appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching the channel tonight. So it means a lot to us. So this is, if you guys like bourbon, this is a really good, just a daily sipper. It's like 100 proof wild bourbon, 101 wild turkey. It's not bad at all. It's one of my favorite daily sippers to kind of end the day. Oh, you know about wild turkey? Yeah, it's actually really good. It's really smooth for the money, and it's cheap. And I think it's a great value. So it doesn't taste like crap. It's actually really good. Hey, what's up, Chris? Thank you so much for watching the channel. We appreciate all your help and support. So yeah, anyway, we've been doing it for over 2 decades, and we talk about real estate, we talk about credit, kind of the new things going on with the market, the economy. Obviously, you saw the Federal Reserve did not lower rates. Appreciate you, Robert. Thank you, man. So you saw that, which I really didn't expect Jerome Powell or the Fed to lower rates. I still think that Trump, and he has other plans to get interest rates lower. And I understand it's not Trump that controls everything. I get that, but I just think that the totality of the shift in what's happened right now in the government, and it will push rates further with the market. And so I am confident about that. I don't, it's not going to happen overnight. I mean, it's March. I would think by, July, August, you might be able to see interest rates, in the 5% range, pretty much on all not all asset classes, except for hard money and private lending. So I think rates will go down about another point, or I'm hoping that. And of course, I don't know. I'm not saying I know everything. I've been in the business a long time. It doesn't mean I know everything. It's just my hunch or my idea. Could be that they go back up, right? I don't think that hey, Mr. Bigglesworth, how are you? So could be that they go back up, but I don't expect it. If I was a betting person, which I am, I think the pot odds are that rates are, to the downside. So we'll see what happens. I do think that you're also, I do think the economy is going to get better. I like what the current political regime is doing, and I am an advocate of it. I know that some people don't agree with it, but I do agree, and that's one of the things I do want to talk about tonight. One of Trump's plans, you saw that no income tax for people that are earning 150K or less. I think that's a great start. I think it should be no income tax for anybody, and the fair tax plan should be implemented. But that's a good place to get started, and especially people like, if you're a senior citizen, you're a wage or you earn commissions, you earn tips, overtime, you shouldn't be paying tax on that anyway. They've been wasting trillions of dollars on shit for the last, decades of our tax dollars that don't need to be wasted. And people can barely make it with the prices of things today. If you're making $150,000 a year or less, you can't even afford to make a living anyway, because of how expensive everything is. So expensive. you know, and it's hard. It's really hard to justify if you're working all day and night to make a living just to survive, and then you got to give 40% of your money to somebody else, and then they blow it off. You know, it's just the whole thing doesn't make any sense. And of course, I mean, smart people get that. So I think trying to find different ways how to allocate your money, and what Trump's doing and their whole team about getting rid of the income tax is a great solution. And I'm a huge advocate of it, because we work too hard. I have to take on a service starting in 2000. Okay, I'm not following what you're saying, but yeah, I just, I hope that it goes into effect and that we see more Americans building their wealth, being more successful, taking, the lower class and making them the middle class, upper class, everyone basically elevating their financial status to become more wealthy and for more prosperity. You should be able to ascend in life. You shouldn't be going down. And socialism is a horrible way to live. And so you can look at the countries that have socialism. That is not a good way to live. You want capitalism and economic prosperity to people that can go out there and hustle, and give them incentives to hustle, because it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of work to make things happen. And if people aren't motivated, then they're not going to want to do it, right? So, so I think that's a big thing. Yeah, I hope to God that he's able to pull it off. And like I said, I don't mind. Like, I'll give you an example. This is a 1.75 liter. This goes for $40. I don't mind paying $50 or even $60 for it if there's no income tax. So I'd rather pay more for this than pay income tax. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. It's way more logical. And, so we'll see what happens. That's my 2 cents on it. So, so yeah. Now, a few things that I do also want to talk about. We have a few new products that have come out for March 2025, and then more that are coming out for April. We have our new jumbo no documentation bank statement loan program. If you're self-employed, you own a business, you're trying to buy a property, you can literally buy a property up to $30 million with no tax returns, no W-2s, no pay stubs, just your bank statements. So it's really cool. So they calculate the cash flow, the amount of money that's coming into the bank account, to determine what you qualify for with your income. So let's say you're depositing $10,000 a month into the bank account. They're going to give you up to 85% of those deposits to qualify you for the loan. Now, you may not keep all that money in your account, but that's okay. They're not looking at how much you're keeping or how much is in the account. They're looking at how much you're bringing in, And based on how much you're bringing in, they're going to give you 85% of that, for example, to determine your eligibility, your qualification. So you don't need tax returns, you don't need W-2s, you don't need pay stubs. You just need to have, the deposits for and you need 12 months of bank statements. Now, the one thing is there are some things here that other products that we have that are for. Yes, it is. You could do a 40-year loan on it too. You can even do 30-year. You can also do interest only if you want to do interest only. But now, one thing I do want to say is if you do a self-employed bank statement loan, they don't like to see. We have some investors or some underwriters that will do that. If you have multiple NSFs or overdraft charges, and obviously that doesn't look good. It happens when you're a small business owner, and I understand completely. Owning a business is very difficult, but some products don't allow for you to have overdrafts. So we may have to move you to a different program, like a P&L, a profit and loss statement program, where you don't show bank statements if you have too many overdrafts or NSFs. So we get a profit and loss statement that basically summarizes your year-end, trailing 12 months what your business did. So we'll do that instead of showing the bank statements. Or if the P&L isn't working, you get a 1099, we can also use a 1099, your 1099 statement to qualify you. Oh, cool. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Uber Dash. Nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well out there. Appreciate all of your support and all your help. It means a lot to us that you guys are supporting us and reaching out. I mean, we're gonna, hey, Elevated Vibes. Oh, awesome. Thank you. No, we do. I mean, here's the thing. We're legit. We work really hard. We try hard. We care. We fight. We're not perfect, and I'm not here to pitch that we're perfect. But we're gonna fight if you're gonna fight with us and help us to make it happen. Oh, cool. Awesome. No, I appreciate all of your, all of you guys coming in to support us, man. It means a lot. We work really hard, and we try. We have a ton of programs to help people, and obviously, we get thousands of people that call us, and we're not able to always. So this is the thing that sometimes, and I always say this. You guys heard my quote that God's delays are not God's denials, and sometimes somebody can't get a loan right now, but we can get you a plan to show you how to qualify to get a loan, with whatever, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever. So at least you'll be put in the right trajectory on how to get funding later. You might have to fix your credit, fix your finances, fix whatever. But what we're not going to do is just leave you hanging cold turkey. But you have to understand too, when you're getting lending or you're getting funding, there's so many working parts. There's the title, there's the appraisal, there's your, the underwriting, the processing. And, we don't control the whole thing in the sense that so we don't control everything in someone's situation. And if there's a problem with the property or there's a problem with the insurance or, something happened on the credit, all we can do is just try the best that we can to help you. But we're coming from that approach. We can't guarantee anything as far as you getting approved or this happening, but we can guarantee is if you work with us and we work together on it, then we can come up with a plan to help you to get approved, to get the funding, to make it happen. And ultimately, if we go in there with that mindset that we're going to fight, we're going to do everything we can to get it done, then we can accomplish something together, right? But that's the way that we work. And a lot of mortgage companies do not work like that. They don't, they want the easy deals, and they don't want to put in the effort to try to figure it out. So. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys, subscribing, enabling notifications, liking the bell, giving us a thumbs up. It gives us a lot of confidence and help and support. And so, we're here for you guys to make it happen. You can always reach out. We're open 7 days a week. You can call, text our office, 832-431-6331. Like I said, guys, it's where America goes for funding for the last 2 decades. We're here to help you to make it happen, to get it done. So, and we do all kinds of financing from RV parks, mobile home parks, hotels, restaurants, single family, multifamily. So cash out, refinance, lines of credit. Big thing right now are also lines of credit. A lot of people are pulling out cash and either doing a second mortgage or a line of credit behind their first because the rates were so low. Uber Dash, can a 1099 work at 6 months income and file taxes? Yes. You have to file taxes for the year though. So you can't, if you're just working 6 months, but you have to go through the calendar year, 2025. So for example, if you started in, let's just say September 2024, you'd have to file 2024 taxes because in December. And then in May, or I'm sorry, in 2025, you'd have to go through that year. You couldn't just file taxes in March 2025 and use that tax return for 3 months. You'd have to file your 2024, and then now you don't need your 2025 right now. It's not required. So it just depends on the part of the year that you're in, or when you started those 6 months, if that makes sense. It's a good question, though. So yeah, that self-employed program's really hot. Another program that's also really hot is the if you're trying to get 100% financing to buy a house, whether you're a first-time buyer or not, and for a non-military veteran. So if you have a 620 or higher credit score, you can purchase your home, primary residence, with 100% financing, with an FHA loan, with a single family or even a two-family duplex. So normally you'd have to have, if you're buying a $500,000 house, you'd have to have like $40,000 for down payment and closing costs, and you don't need that. You can get all of that included, rolled it into the loan with the down payment assistance in the first-time buyer tax credit grant. So it's a really, really awesome program to be able to help you. So the first-time buyer tax credit, the way it works is you get, so the minimum month just need to file tax. No, we have a 1 year self-employed program. So you don't need 2 years of taxes technically. It depends on the product that we put you on. Like if we do the 1 year self-employed, you just need the 1 year of the 2024 tax return. You don't need 2 years. Some programs require 2 years, but it depends on the program that we do. So, but yeah, anyway, going back to the first-time buyer program, the 1 year starts with 5% down. So we'll give 95%. You got to put 5%. That's the minimum. Also, I was going to say, yeah, going back to the zero down. Now, you don't have to be a first-time buyer. You can, and that's cool. But there's no income limit. There's no location restriction. There is a loan limit. For a single family, it depends on the county. You have to follow the FHA county MSA, and it varies. At 500 to $1 million, just depending on where you're at. And then a duplex is like 600 to 1.5. There's an FHA website, and you plug in the county and the zip code, it'll tell you what the limit is. So, hey buddy, salute. But it's cool because you get, now I was going to talk about the tax credit. This is a big thing, and the tax credit is actually really powerful. So there is another program that we offer. It's a first-time buyer tax credit, and you have to be a first-time buyer for this. And there is income restrictions. You have to make below usually like $90,000 a year. But it's really cool because it lowers your property taxes by $2,000 a year. So let's say that your taxes are $4,000 a year. Once you plug in the first-time buyer tax credit, it'll drop it from $4,000 to $2,000 per year. So you save all that on your payment and for your qualification. So let's say that your debt ratio is high or whatever, and you're trying to lower your debt to income ratio. If you use the first-time buyer tax credit, it'll lower your payment. You take $2,000 divided by 12, it's $166 a month. We back that out of your payment, and it drops your debt to income ratio. The tax credit is very good. Yeah, it's for 10 years. So it's a really powerful thing. But there are more restrictions as far as the income, and you do have to be for a first time buyer is defined somebody that hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. So if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, and you make, let's just, and now the income restriction is based on the county that you're in. So if you're making, let's just use 90,000 for even numbers. If you're making below 90,000, you can use the first time buyer tax credit. Okay. And, but you need to have a 640 or higher credit score for the first time buyer tax credit. That's a good question. The DTI, the maximum for the 100% is 56% debt to income ratio. Yeah. That's also a good question. I can tell that you're learning. Getting some smart cookies here, people that are watching and catching on. That's a good question too. 6 months to get rid of a cosigner. Yeah, if you took out a loan, no, the 100% is just for turnkey. The 203K, you have to put at least 3.5% down. Yeah, you'd have to refinance if you use the cosigner. Unless maybe the loan's assumable and you can have some, well, if you want to keep the loan in your name and you want to remove the cosigner, yeah, you'd have to refinance. But those are really good questions. So tell you that you guys have been watching the channel, you've been learning. You guys are going to become loan experts. Any long-term loans for self-employed? Yes, of course. I would highly recommend you check out our channel. I mean, we're the self-employed extraordinaire. So thank you, Mr. Laidback. So yeah, we have a ton of different self-employed loan programs. We do bank statement loan, no-doc loans, private loans, bridge loans. We do 1099, profit and loss loans. So many different type of loan products out there that we offer. So yeah, we can definitely accommodate. We can do purchases, cash out, refinance. There's a lot of different programs that we offer to be able to help you. And the thing is that, and if you're new to the channel, one thing that I want to add, that we're not just here just talking about stuff randomly and then trying to sell you something. We actually are the lender, doing the loan for you. So I know a lot of YouTube channels, like, they talk about stuff, but then there's no call to action. So you're dealing with me, you're dealing with my company, my team, to help you for the funding. So that's the difference. So, so I just want to make sure that you guys know that we're not here just to I know there's a lot of channels out there that are just talking about random stuff, and you can't even call and talk to anybody. It's all automated. So you call us, you talk to real people, and we work with you to help you to figure it out, to get it done. Refinance, it depends on the program. If you're doing hard money or asset-based or bridge, there's not really any credit score requirements. It's asset-based. But if it's a conventional standard loan, you need, ideally FHA, go down to a 500, conventional down to 620. So it just depends. Yeah, FHA down to a 500. Yep. So, but yeah, if we can help you guys, don't be a stranger. Like I said, call, text my office. Yeah, we actually. So the one thing also, guys, that remember, the government, like FHA, VA, they have no credit score restrictions. They put on the lender to decide what score they want to lend down to. Most lenders are 620, most are 580. We go down to a 500. So that's legit. There's no joke about that. Cool thing too about FHA and VA, yes, we do soft pulls. We don't do hard pull until you go to closing, because you have to do a hard pull when you go to closing. But in the beginning, we just do a soft pull. So, yeah, the thing I like also about FHA is that, let's say you have a 500 credit score, you can get like the same rate as someone that has a 700. So it's really neat. You don't get dinged if you have a lower credit score. Whereas if you're doing a conventional loan, you couldn't even get a loan if you had a 500 credit score. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, like I said, there's a few companies out there that do it. There's probably, in America, I'd say, probably maybe a dozen, 12 to 15 companies that do it. There's not many. Out of the thousands of banks and mortgage companies, tens of thousands, there's probably, I'd say, 12 to 15 companies that do it well. There's a few companies that do it very, very well. And I believe that we are one of them for sure. But we also, we do A credit, low rate loans too. But we also offer that product as well. There's not many though, you're right. Most people don't want to deal with it. Most banks and lenders think that it's a waste of time and it's not a good idea. I don't think that. I think if it makes sense, then it'll work. So, but yeah, no, again, I appreciate all of the support, guys. You guys have always been here for me to help me and help grow the channel. Don't forget to share this with people, enable notifications, subscribe, like the bell. We work really hard to empower you, educate you, get you the information, the knowledge. Don't be a stranger. Call, text my office. We're always here, open 7 days a week, 832-431-6331. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like that bell. We'll be back again next week to talk with you guys. Check out the channel. There's thousands of videos on the channel. Or if you want to talk, reach out to us if we can help you with the funding. We're here for you. We appreciate all of your help and your support. We'll be back again next week. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Have a wonderful week with your family. Stay strong. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.